Up, stay with us, but let's talk about our KitchenAid cold brew 38-ounce capacity coffee maker. And this is the XL version. This has been on air and has been very popular. Right now, our quantity at this point is very limited. It's a customer pick on hsn.com. The price that we have today, where we took over $30 off, that is only good for today. That price does end tonight at midnight. So on FlexPay, it's $24.25. And this is the way that it comes. You can see we've already cold brewed our coffee here, but this is the way that it's going to come, with that handle, with the lid, with the filter basket that you've got right here. And what's great about this basket, I'll actually take this part off and show you the basket, is that this is a filter. It's not just a regular canister. It might be difficult to see because there's nothing in it, but this is what allows you to filter that cold brew. And then of course, this is your vessel that you can actually pour with, because it's got a pour spout right there as well. Not pour, but you can just kind of press and the coffee will come right through the bottom. So it makes it easy for you to get that amazing cold brew just the way you like it. Now, our special guest, Francis Biondi, one of our culinary contributors, is joining us. He's also a lover of cold brew coffee. Francis, it's so great to have you.
Hey, great to see you again.
For sure, for sure. Okay, talk us through, for somebody who's saying, well, I usually buy cold brew at the specialty stores, but now I can make it at home this easily.
It's amazing. I love coffee. I love enjoying my morning with a cup of coffee, as many of us do. But it's so, I don't know, let's say it's so tough to have to go out every morning, stop by our coffee shop, and it gets expensive over time, right? So why not make beautiful cold brew coffee at home? So KitchenAid's been around for over 100 years, bringing you products to make it easier to do your day-to-day activities in the kitchen. And we have for you our XL cold brew maker. So as you mentioned, we have a lid. We also have our two-piece top, which allows us to fit that laser cut microfilter. And you can't really see it through here, but this microfilter is just so fine of a stainless steel mesh, that when that coffee ground sits in there, the water just blooms that coffee beautifully, and you don't have any extra coffee grounds floating around in your coffee in the morning. What's great about this product too is that it sits perfectly in your fridge. You have a handle, so it is portable as well. So I have it sitting right on the countertop, and I love the spout. The little pour spout tap is amazing. So when you're waking up in the morning and you're looking for that fresh cup of coffee, you can easily just open your fridge, turn on the tap, and let it go.
Look,
you know what's,
yeah, look at that. Turn on the tap, and there you go. Look, I've got my cold brew.
Exactly. So I'll show you a little bit of how to work it. So you can go to the store and grab your favorite bag of coffee, your coffee grounds. I like to use a coarser grind because I believe that helps with the blooming of the cold brew coffee itself. So I just poured it out into a container here. Now there is a little etched line that goes right around the top of that filter. And that filter has that etched line about 3/4 of the way up. And you might be able to see that. But right here, you have a fill line, and you're going to fill your coarse ground or ground coffee right to the top there, stick it right into your KitchenAid cold brew, and you're going to take about 1.5 liters of water. I just like to eyeball it. The less water you put in there, the more concentrated that coffee is going to come out. So I'm just going to pour in some water right on top. Make sure your tap is closed. I've made that mistake in the past. And we're just going to pour the water in slowly right on top. And it's nice, cold, filtered water. That's going to give you the best quality. Now, it is a 38-ounce capacity. Now, as you can see right from the get-go, and I'm going to just bring this up to the camera a little bit, you can see that that coffee is already blooming. Yes. The oils and the essence of that coffee is already filtering through that microfilter. So as I continue to pour this, I just want to do it slowly so that every ground is getting covered by water, and it's going to slowly release those essential oils and everything that makes that coffee beautiful. What's great about cold brew coffee too is that it's 67% less acidic than hot brew coffee, than your typical hot coffee. Yeah, so usually those tannins, that bitterness that you might get from a cup of hot coffee, or you let your hot coffee ice down with some ice, you'll get that bitterness. You'll get a little bit of that upset stomach maybe over time. And what that is a lot of the acids being broken down by the hot water. So what's great about cold brew is that as it sits in your fridge for 12 to 24 hours, I let it sit overnight, that slowly develops the flavor of the true flavor of coffee, and you actually get some of those rich antioxidants that the coffee is good for your body, as well as this beautiful natural sweetness. And I love that about cold brew coffee.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I have only been a coffee drinker for 4 years, ever since my little baby was born, and I had to drink coffee just to stay awake. But I've noticed the bitterness in just a traditional hot cup of coffee. And for a lot of people, the way they counteract that bitterness is that they fill it with sugar or fill it with sweeteners and creams and things like that to get over the bitterness. So if you are saying, I'm with you, I totally understand. Not only if you've ever had cold brew coffee, maybe that's why you keep coming back for more, you can now do it at home. Because when you think about it, Francis, how much we pay for going to the coffee shop and getting one cold brew, I mean, that adds up. The fact that you can do it.
You're so right.
Yeah, and you can do this, and this holds enough to have cup after cup after cup, you know, whenever you want it, because you can make it, sit it in the refrigerator, and then when you want a cup of cold brew, you've got your own. So I know we don't have a lot of these. We only at this point now have a few hundred of them. This is it. I don't have to plug anything in. I don't have to do anything extra. It's just coffee grounds that I add and water, and you let the KitchenAid do the rest. Francis, we're coming back to see and hear more, but as you're watching, I wanna make sure you go ahead and pick yours up, because today is the only day it's going to be at this lower price of less than $100. Yes.
And yeah, you mentioned that great fact that you do spend a lot of money going to a store, going to your favorite coffee shop, $10 a cup of coffee sometimes for those special coffees. You're getting some beautiful homemade cold brew coffee concentrate now. Now, when this comes out, what you'll do is take it right out of your fridge, set it up on the counter like I did here. And what's great about their design is that you can take the filter and just let it angle and sit right on top as the rest of that water ends up draining out from that microfilter. You can kind of see it starting to drip down, and what you get is this beautiful concentrated coffee. So what you can do is go ahead and dilute it with whatever you'd like. If you just like your coffee black, I just pour in a little more filtered water. It's about 1 part concentrate to 3 parts liquid. If you like your coffee with a little bit of cream, almond milk, oat milk, if you like some liquid sweetener in there too, I can show you exactly how I do that. Now, what's great is behind me, I set up about 14 cups of coffee right here, and this is exactly what that concentrate allows you to do.
Wow.
I like to have 1 cup of cold brew in the morning every day. That's 2 weeks worth of coffee that I have in my fridge, and I don't have to worry about driving that extra mile. I don't have to worry about spending that extra dollar. It definitely saves time and money.
Wow, Francis, thank you so much for that. I love seeing that, and I thank you so much for being with us. Stay on the phone for yours, 679-637. We'd love to be able to send yours out while we still